What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the suppressed pistol and how it is the most underrated weapon in Fortnite Simpsons season. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the suppressed pistol and which weapon you think is most underrated this season. And if you guys would like to use my code in the shop when getting anything, it is EvolveJake, just like my channel name, and it should be underneath the webcam at all times. So the Simpsons season loot pool, I think, is very solid. I made a tier list video earlier this week, and I feel like pretty much everything in the loot pool has a place and has a time where it could be good. There's not anything like really terrible. There's a few like standout really great items, but that makes deciding what the most underrated item is, I think, somewhat difficult because everything is just really solid. But I think the suppressed pistol stands out for a few reasons and actually has some valid reasons to be used this season as somewhat of like a mid-range spray weapon. So like we're going to be comparing this to the striker AR and the suppressed assault rifle. Those are like the weapons that I feel like it's competing against. Typically a weapon like the suppressed pistol really loses out to the ARs at range. But with how this season plays, a lot of people like using the Mr. Blasty pistol or the infantry rifle for like longer range fights, and then just end up using their spray weapon for more like medium range fights. So I feel like the suppressed pistol has a chance to like be really good in this loot pool. And the main kind of benefits it has is that its accuracy is actually pretty solid. It doesn't have as much bloom as the ARs do, which is helpful. It's pretty much no recoil. And also it has a 2x headshot multiplier, while the ARs both have 1.5. So if you're able to hit headshots, this weapon will actually be dealing more damage than the assault rifles. The main drawback for it is just going to be the magazine size. And this is what I dislike most about it, is that its magazine size is only 12 while the ARs have like 30. It does reload really quick, which is nice, but with how this season plays, I feel like I'm often getting players incredibly weak that end up escaping using mobility. And if you're trying to like hit those last few shots on them as they're like one shot getting away, the reduced magazine size of this pistol can really be a problem. If you're in like a medium range fight where like you're playing off cover and the opponent is playing off cover, I feel like the magazine size isn't that detrimental because of its really fast reload. But in those situations where like, you know, you have a very small window to hit a few shots on somebody before they escape, that's where it is problematic, I think. One advantage this does have over the ARs, if you are in a situation where you're using mobility to chase somebody, is that the hipfire is actually much better. So this is going to be helpful in close range fights if you're using this to combo with something like the Thunder Pump. While the fire rate isn't the greatest, the hipfire accuracy is really good. The damage is solid, and as I already said, the headshot multiplier is really good. So if you're able to get headshots with it, you'll melt really quick. And if you're like swapping to this after a shotgun, you're probably pretty close range to the opponent. So like it's pretty easy to hit headshots in that situation with a spray weapon. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on the headshot damage from this pistol. That hipfire accuracy is also going to be nice when you're chasing people, though. As I already said, a lot of times this season, people are like running away using shockwaves or using the dash fish. And if you're trying to pursue them and then also like hipfire at them while you're chasing them, which is helpful if you already have them really weak, the pistol is a bit easier to hit shots with in those situations because of its added accuracy, because of its better hipfire. If you're spraying something like the striker AR or the suppressed AR, hipfire while you're in the sky chasing somebody with shockwaves, your odds of hitting shots are actually really bad. Whereas with the suppressed pistol, it's not like perfectly accurate, but it's solid enough to where if your aim is good, I think you can somewhat reliably land shots there. Again, the magazine size might be a problem because you can't spray for as long, but it is good in that aspect. And as I said, the accuracy is better. So if you have a hard time dealing with the bloom of the striker AR or the striker suppressed AR, the pistol can just be full sprayed a majority of the time. And if you are in kind of close to medium range, the max spread of the suppressed pistol is not so large that it's like hard to land shots consistently. So I think for a lot of players, they don't really like the bloom on these ARs. They don't like playing around that. They don't find it to be enjoyable. I feel like the suppressed pistol is a little more consistent in that aspect. And one of the ways that I really like it, since it does have like a lower max spread than the other ARs, I feel like I can strafe aim a lot better with this because I am someone who strafe aims a lot, which is like you move your character to move your reticle. But with something like the striker AR or the suppressed AR, any of these third-person bloom weapons, you're kind of incentivized not to strafe aim because you get your best accuracy when standing still and when crouched. And that makes my aim a bit worse. But with the suppressed pistol, I feel like you can be a bit more mobile with it and it not be as much of a factor because the accuracy is better. And then one final reason why I think some people might want to use this is because it uses light ammo. And if you're playing team game modes, I've had a lot of people in the comments complain about how like it's hard to get enough ammo for everybody in the squad, especially with how chaotic the off-spawn fights are in this game. You and your team might end up landing at like a smaller, less contested area than you normally would just because of how chaotic off-spawn fights are this season. And if you're finding yourself in that boat where you just don't have enough ammo, being decent with this gives you an option to like maybe take this instead of an AR, share your medium ammo with one of your teammates, they share their light ammo with you, and now both of you are a little bit more viable because you both have enough ammo rather than each of you just barely having any ammo at all. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like since it uses light ammo and it's not competing for medium, that is something that a lot of people will find value in if ammo has been a struggle for you this season. I mostly play solos, so it hasn't really been for me, and I tend to land at POIs, but if you're landing at like really weird, not really weird, but like places with less loot, ammo can be a concern, and this is something that can help solve that. But that is going to be it for this video. In short, the suppressed pistol is really good. It's really underrated. Headshot damage, you will melt a lot of people and surprise yourself with it. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Did I just get scammed there or what? Like, I feel like my aim was like pretty on point, but I'm biased. You saw the art style of the map by now? I still hate it. I never had an opinion on it, really. Like, my brain... Nice. I feel like my brain just doesn't really, like... Like, I pay such little attention to shit like that, I don't even notice. Like, from the first match I ever played, I didn't mind it or think about it, really. Just, I don't know. It's just never really been something I thought about. Like, I remember back in the day, Borderlands 1, me and my friends got it. And I had a friend that, like, really hated it because of the way it looked. And it was, like, something that I just, like, oh, yeah, I guess it does look different. Like, I hadn't even thought about it or noticed it, really. Now that you point it out, I guess it does look strange. GG's. When I saw those shockwaves drop on the ground, I thought I was about to accidentally shockwave myself. Oh no. I don't know where that other guy ended up. He was somewhere. Yep. I was gonna say, I don't know where he ended up, but he was somewhere around here, so I'm like on guard going for this car. 1v1. This guy's on a barn shooting at me. He's just popped a slushy, I think. There was more shockwaves in this building earlier, I think. Bro, what was that fight? That guy was so shaking.